So, Ted, we have a lot of situations in real estate, okay, where buyers are contacting attorneys after they move into a home and they say, hey, you know what, Mr. Topouzis, we found out that it looks like the sellers maybe have misled us on some seller disclosures, and we want to know what we can do for recourse.
What our options are. Well, I mean, I think the good thing is that you get the disclosure up front, you know, and you hope that, you know, it's kind of garbage in is garbage out. You know, if you fill it in properly and, you know, the right information is there, it's always better, in my opinion, to over-disclose.
I agree.
To come clean, because you don't have to worry about this, you know, coming back at you after the closing, and that it gets ugly after the closing, because, you know, some things are, you know, sometimes bigger than others, you know, and I think we spoke off the air about, you know, you're buying homes that are used homes, and who knows how old they are, and every house has things that you know, may not have been perfectly disclosed, whether or not the seller knew about it. Sure. That you have to eventually deal with if it bothers you that much, or it's something that becomes a concern in the way you know the house is used. That's why we do inspections. And if you're gonna buy a house as is, where is, and no inspections, then you kind of buy it the way it is, and you really shouldn't be coming back to a seller either you know, before it closes or after it closes, and try to, you know, hash that issue out. If you have to know what your obligation is when you sign a contract that says I'm buying this property as is. I think the common denominator in the conversation is that you really want to disclose. When in doubt, disclose. And that way you keep yourself clean for the future. You're not going to get that potential message that'll come after the closing from the buyer that might get brought to their agent, might get brought to the listing agent's attention, might get brought to the closing attorney's attention, that, hey, I think you know, the seller wasn't truthful on the disclosures.
Yeah.
And getting back to the point from earlier, you know, you are buying a used home, so you have to understand some of these things are wear and tear. You know, it's something that maybe also is preference. You know, you would, you know, want to fix it in a certain way. Sometimes people don't have the money, so that's why they bring it up.
As an attorney, okay, how do you feel about a seller doing a pre-list home inspection?
You know, Emilio, I knew you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, I always bring that up.
Yeah. and I think it really is a good point. I think it's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you do want to get, you know, you want to know what's going on with your property. You want to get a head start. And if you have that pre-list inspection, and you find certain things that, you know, you can fix and get ahead of, then you should fix and get ahead of those things.
Yeah.
And if you find something that's a real problem,
we want to find the problems.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
You do, but if you find that problem that might be expensive to fix, now you're on the hook. You've got to disclose it.